107 horsepower, 1-speed automatic, 73 miles of range, front-wheel drive. Ladies and gentlemen, what have I done? I did not know this yesterday. However, apparently I did not have enough projects. So this morning I decided to purchase this 2011 Nissan Leaf from an internet man for $1,500. Now you may be wondering, this car doesn't look that bad. Why should it only be worth $1,500? Well, if we take a look over here, this might have something to do with it. Basically, pretty decent suspension damage, and the doors are cut open quite badly. The seat airbag is deployed, curtain airbag is deployed, driver airbag. You can see over here we have a little bit of frame damage. This appears to be most of it. However, I'm not gonna know, not until I pull all of these panels off. This glass is broken. Rest of the glass is fine. However, there's going to be quite a few broken suspension components in here. I'll have to pull all that apart to find out exactly what lurks underneath. As far as what this car came with, car key, charger, and back here there appears to be some goodies. Should be fun to look through those. Hopefully there's something interesting in there. Now I can't open up the tailgate because this 12-volt battery won't stay charged for whatever reason. I was able to jump it a little bit earlier and found out that this car had over 40 miles of range, which is not bad at all. However, that 12-volt battery might have an issue. I guess I'll find out. But if you're wondering what a $1,500 Nissan Leaf project car looks like, here she is in all her glory. This is going to be yet another fun project for me. Back to the drawing board. Has to be something like that. This is where we're at, where we're starting, and then we're gonna get there's the plan. Obviously, I'm not going to wait to find out what's back here. I can't wait. So, I'll just go ahead and dig in and see what all this is. Don't know what this is for. Actually, useful. Little bag. Just a plastic, actually half of a plastic bottle. Literally a cut Gatorade bottle. Probably someone was planning on using this as a funnel, or maybe they were using it as a funnel. Let's keep going. And that's why that. Let me get a better position here. Just an empty bag for the charger. So that is a keeper. And wow, look at this. No, I'm just making a mess. this is gonna have to stay, I guess. Kitchen knife, bread knife. Okay. Some kind of net.
You write in the book, there is no faith and no courage and no sacrifice in doing what is expedient. What do you say to those viewers that don't pursue their dreams and are locked in their careers because they are too afraid to take risks and pursue something meaningful?
Well, the first thing I would say is, well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. You're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking.
Yeah,
and if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years, you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
But isn't it a luxury to pursue what is meaningful? Our viewers have mortgages, they have children,
Yeah.
they have payments and loans. It's a luxury to pursue because we lack the resources.
Well, I don't remember now, I'm not talking about what makes you happy. It's a luxury to pursue what makes you happy. It's a moral obligation to pursue what you find meaningful. And that doesn't mean it's easy. It might require sacrifice. If you need to change your job too, let's say you have a family and children and a mortgage, you have responsibilities. You've already picked up those responsibilities. You don't just get to walk away scot-free and say, well, I don't like my job, I quit. That's no strategy. But what you might have to do is you think, well, this job is killing my soul. All right, so what do I have to do about that? Well, I have to look for another job. Well, no one wants to hire me. It's like, okay, maybe you need to educate yourself more. Maybe you need to update your curriculum vitae, your resume. Maybe you need to overcome your fear of being interviewed. Maybe you need to sharpen your social skills. Like, you have to think about these things strategically. If you're going to switch careers, you have to do it like an intelligent, responsible person. That might take you a couple of years of effort to do properly. We're built for struggle, us human beings. We're built to contend with the world. We're built to contend with reality. You want a challenge, and the best way that you can take on a challenge, because a challenge fortifies you. So you don't want to be secure, you want to be strong. And you get strong by taking on optimal challenges. And so you lay out your destiny in the world, and you take the slings and arrows of fate, and you make yourself stronger while you're doing so. And you might fail, and fortune might do you in. But it's your best bet. And you know, people have extracted unbelievable successes out of catastrophic failures. And I'm not saying that in a naive way. I know perfectly well what happens to people. You know, you're doing fine in life and then you get cancer, and then 6 months later you're dead. And all the heroism in the world isn't going to save you at that point. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Life is bounded by mortality. But that doesn't mean that you don't get out there and contend, and you develop by contending, and you minimize the net amount of suffering in the world. And that's something, man, that's something to do.
A little better. Not really. Okay, basically that did nothing at all. Right, back to the drawing board. Okay, one more quick try. Reason why they didn't come out, I had one of the nuts still on there. It's a whole lot of fun. As far as the damage is concerned, you can see the shock absorber is badly bent, needs to be replaced. Sway bar link, bent, damaged, needs to be replaced. Brake line is crushed by the spring, badly damaged, that needs to be fixed. But that seems to be about the extent of the damage, and it's actually not too bad at all. Battery should be okay for the time being. Like that. And now it's much easier to see the damage to the brake line. Yeah, when the spring bent in, it caused this. Sway bar link. Okay, brake line came out. There it is. New one. Brake line is in. New part. Went in no problem. Sway bar link is a little bent. And here's the new one. Nice and straight. Time for the tire. Okay, let's go take a look and see if it works. Start it up. Drive.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Reverse. And there you have it, fixed. On the odometer, there's 70,504 miles. Air conditioning works. Radio works. It has a navigation system. These things are outdated, but it's still in here. Pretty much everything works. It also does this fancy little trick here. Access to a disc slot. And then goes back up like that. In conclusion, $1,500 Leaf, $100 for the tow, 90 some odd dollars for parts. I'm at around $1,700 to get to this point. Now it's not ready for the road just yet. It's gonna need airbags, it's gonna need doors, it's gonna need a fender. Now if there's something seriously wrong with you, you could take this out on the freeway right now and cruise at 90 miles an hour with your window missing. However, I'm gonna get all these parts replaced before I put this out on the road. The big question, why did I purchase this car? It's an EV. You probably know about the benefits of owning an EV already. However, I'm gonna run through some of the big benefits anyway. You don't need to purchase gasoline, oil changes are not required, and brake pads last a very long time due to regen braking. With the way the gas prices are right now, it's a very good idea to pick one of these up. In the past, I was looking at Nissan Leafs for around $5,000 that came with a bad battery. The battery in this thing, the main one, roughly another $5K. So I would have probably been around $10,000 before I'm actually able to run one of these down the street. With this battery that's sitting under me right now, this battery seems to be about as good as new, if not as good as new. So I really lucked out. I mean, I spent a little bit of money to purchase the vehicle. I'm going to have to throw a little bit of parts into it before I get it out on the road and running. But I'm not going to be anywhere near 10,000 bucks. So if you can pick one of these up, I would highly recommend you grab one of these. If you're going to run a whole lot of miles, this probably isn't for you. You might be looking at a Tesla. You might be looking at a Rivian if you want to run 200 miles or more between charges. This is not going to be able to do that. However, if you don't run a whole lot of miles and you can plan your trips out and you know what you're doing, something like this can definitely help you out. As far as the cost, I mean, realistically, this is unbeatable. The purchase price is low. The running costs are low. Maintenance is going to be next to nothing. Leafs absolutely rock. If you haven't looked into them, look into them. They're great. And let's address the elephant in the room. Basically, the exterior design of this car. I'm not sure what the design language is on this. Basically, it looks like Nissan Versa is trying to wear some kind of a bug suit on the outside. It looks like maybe a caterpillar suit. I'm not sure. I guess the design language for this thing is supposed to be in tune with nature. I'm not sure exactly what they were going for. Whatever it is, something like this doesn't really stand out in traffic anyway. It just looks kind of strange. It just looks bubbly. I guess Nissan was able to figure out that customers in this segment are looking for something that is more conservative. So the new Nissan Leaf is definitely a lot more conservative looking than this. Now the interior, this isn't so much the case. But if you can get past the looks of this car, it's, I think, a very great value. It's kind of like a mini minivan. The seats fold down. You have plenty of space to put little things in it. So it's a pretty great little car. But anyway, that's all I have to say about the Nissan Leaf. Enjoy yourselves, and don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Bye.